That is the reason why dreams often look so unattainable. We have the power to build that bridge. That is the only true difference between the people who achieve things and the people who don't. It's because we don't know how to make them a reality. Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to reflect on what happens with our passions when we are about to turn 30. What we typically see is that reaching the age of 30 becomes a pressure to settle down, to make safe choices, to maybe start a family, buy a house, and these things that we think we are on a timeline that we need to follow and achieve. We get into this mindset that makes us believe that taking risks and doing out of the box things is exclusively for younger people because it's immature and you should only do it when you don't have real world responsibilities or whatever that is. Many people, as they grow older, they get stuck in this mindset, and as they age, as they approach their 30s, they start to panic and they think, well, now that I'm 30, I can't do this. It's done. It's over. I have no time. I should have done it when I was in my 20s. I regret it, but there's nothing I can do anymore. They simply fall into a comfort zone and they give in to society's expectations. Today, I am here to tell you that regardless of the age that you're turning this year or next year, don't give up on your dreams. Please don't give up on your dreams and your passions. Just because you have responsibilities, you have a home, you have a family, you have people to take care of, you have bills to pay, you have whatever kind of responsibility that obviously is going to make it difficult, don't let that stand in the way of you becoming the person that you want. You might need to make adjustments. You might need to pursue your dreams in a realistic way that makes sense for your lifestyle, but please don't give up, because just because you have things that are getting in the way, it doesn't mean that it'll never happen. It just means that you need to work differently. As humans, we are made to adapt. Throughout history, our bodies and our minds have been evolving so that we can survive, and every new generation develops new skills to ensure that survival. Now, obviously, that sounds very National Geographic, Earth and the Elements kind of vibe, but the reality is that that applies also to our reality, our society. We lose our spark because we are told that it's immature to take risks, to try new things, to dare to be different. And it seems to get louder the older we get. Turning 30 is so far from being old, and I think the majority of people understand this except those that are under the age of 30, because any age that we haven't reached is going to feel like so old, but that is not the reality. And even if it were, even if X age is considered to be old or whatever, who said being old is a bad thing? Last time I checked, the older we get, the more wiser we are. And wise people can do better things and be more successful because they have a good chunk of experiences and knowledge under their belt, which means that they are prepared because they've been on this earth longer and they've been doing this thing we call life for longer. So you will pick up a few things here and there that are going to allow you to be successful. I want you to take a moment and do a little exercise with me. Close your eyes. And I want you to think back to when you were in your 20s, or even before that. Think back to your teens. Think back a decade or two younger than where you are right now. And think about those dreams that you wanted to achieve. What were those things that you wanted? Is it still nagging you in the back of your head? Is there a better idea or a better version of you that won't leave your mind? What is it that you're always thinking about, wishing that you would have done, but you may now feel like it's too late? What is it that makes you so frustrated and so angry because you didn't do it when you were younger? Hold that thought, and then once you have that answer for yourself, let's think about it again in a different perspective. That thing that you wanted may not even look the same now. And it's not because you're not able to do it. It might be because you don't care about it the same way. And I don't mean you don't care. I mean that our perception and our interests change with time. Which means that maybe even though you're still passionate about something, you might not necessarily want to pursue it the same way you used to when you were younger. That might mean that what you need is a different alternative. And let's say you still want to pursue it the same way you did, but maybe there's an unchangeable circumstance that keeps you from doing that, and maybe that's where the frustration lies. Well, maybe there's a different way that you can still do it. Maybe you have an alternative, a different approach that you can take to still experience that thing that you wanted, even if it's not exactly as picture perfect as you thought it would end up being when you were younger. Let me give you an example. Let's say you wanted to pursue an undergraduate degree, and one of the things that you were looking forward the most was to have that full college experience. But let's say there were circumstances at the time that didn't allow you to do it. And maybe now you are in a place where you have the resources and the time to do it, but maybe you're no longer within an age that you would be allowed to live in a dorm. Maybe you have a family, so it wouldn't make sense to just leave them to go live within campus. So even if you had the chance to do it, it might just feel weird to you. That doesn't mean you can't have a very fulfilling and full college experience. Yeah, maybe you don't live in the dorm, and maybe you're not going to crazy parties every weekend, but you might still be engaging in different activities on campus. Maybe you're joining clubs, maybe you are participating in events, maybe you're even making plans with your classmates. There are so many things that you could do to still make that college experience fulfilling that don't necessarily have to look exactly the same way that they would have looked like when you first thought about pursuing that, but that doesn't make them any less special and any less fulfilling. Remember, you don't need to check all the boxes in your dream for your dream to be a reality. The way for us to achieve the things that we want to achieve is by turning those dreams into actionable plans. We need to set deadlines. We need to think, what is the next logical step for me to get to this goal? Instead of looking at it from very far away and focusing on the very big picture and how far the end goal is, think about what you can do today that will take you closer. What small step can you do that will allow you to get closer to that dream? Let me give you a few examples. Let's say you wanted to start a business and you have no idea how to start a business. Well, one step that you can take today that is already taking you closer to starting that business is searching on Google how to start a business. As simple as that. That small step is progress towards your dream, but you need to keep on going. You can't just stay there. You need to think, okay, what's the next thing that I can do? Well, maybe you can figure out what idea you want to pursue. Research that idea. Is it profitable? Is it something that you can actually do? Does it make sense with your lifestyle? If the answer is no, how can you adapt that idea to work with your current lifestyle so that you can make changes slowly that will eventually allow you to pursue it the way that you want it? There's always ways to downscale something so that you can start a little lower and then work your way up, because that's the way that big things are built. We don't build the big thing from day one. We start block by block, slowly making little steps here and there that eventually all together turn into that big dream. Let me give you another example, something simpler. Let's say you want to travel more and your goal is to be, I don't know, a travel influencer, or maybe not even that. Maybe you just want to go on travels every year, but you haven't done so because of whatever reason. Well, maybe you can start by searching for one location. Let's make one trip possible. Choose one place, look at all the things around there that you can do, and plan, I want to go here, I want to experience this thing, maybe I want to take this tour, maybe I want to visit this museum. How much money do you need? Well, let's make a budget. Let's make a list of all the things that you want to do and all the things that you will need. How much will it cost? Do you need to pay for a hotel? Do you need to pay for food? Or are you going to get some sort of package? Are you going to cook? Are you going to eat out? All of these little details that feel overwhelming actually put you closer to where you want to get. So by planning the trip, you can already start feeling that you're making progress and that it's actually going to be doable. Obviously, you have to think about your itinerary. What does your day-to-day look like? How can you make changes to your day-to-day to make that trip possible? Maybe you're not able to take a whole week, but maybe you can take a weekend. Maybe you can even do an overnight trip and you can go visit a place. Maybe instead of taking a flight, you can drive somewhere. Maybe you can leave your cat at your friend's house, or you can leave your cat at a cat hotel. There are small things that are going to get in the way, or big things that are going to get in the way of the things that you want to do. But the way to overcome those things is to find solutions. Take one situation at a time and think, how can I make this happen? If you're taking care of someone, is there someone that can take care of that other person for just one day, so that you can go and take a break, so that you can go and make that dream a reality? If it's your job that you work a lot of hours, maybe you can take advantage of a long weekend. Maybe you can use some PTO if you have any. Make it scalable, make it small, and then work your way up to what it is that you want to achieve, because eventually things will change, and they will change for the better, and you will look back and you'll be like, wow, I can't believe this is where I started and this is where I am now, just because I took that first step, and then I just kept taking baby steps, one after the other, until it makes it a reality. That is the reason why dreams often look so unattainable. It's because we don't know how to make them a reality, and so they feel like this huge, impossible task. They feel like they are so unreachable. But what we forget is that we have the power to build that bridge that is going to take us from point A to point B. We need to think outside the box. We need to think outside of our comfort zone and think outside of the things that we are used to doing. The same actions are not going to give us the results that we want. We have to figure out what are the actions that give us the results that we're looking for, and then do those things. It is hard. It's way easier said than done, but it's not as impossible as it seems. It's more about keeping in mind that we are capable of it and taking action, rather than because we need to be these special people, or we need to have all these resources or the perfect circumstances. There will never be perfect circumstances for things to work out, but there will be circumstances that will be better than others, and we have to figure out how do we make those circumstances a reality in order for us to be able to keep on moving forward. That is the only true difference between the people who achieve things and the people who don't. The people who achieve things believe that they can and don't take no for an answer. The people who achieve things assess where they want to be, where they are, they figure out what they're missing, they figure out how to get it, and then they go and get it. It's hard. There are a lot of things that are going to work against us, but if we think we can't get it and we blame the world, then we're not getting anywhere. We need to look inside and show the world, hey, I have what it takes. I can do this and I will do it. Doesn't matter how much I have to sacrifice, doesn't matter how far I have to go, I will get it because I believe I can do it. I want you to look in the mirror and tell yourself that you can do it. It might sound crazy and it might sound like those motivational things that people typically say, but the reality is that if you convince yourself that you can do it, you will likely do it. It's all in here. And also remember that age is a number. Turning 30 is just time passing. It means nothing when you believe that you can achieve things. The only reason why we don't achieve those things is because of the misconception that we can't. It's not because we're getting old. It's not because time passed. It's not because we're not in our 20s. It's because of what we do and how we do it and how we see ourselves and what we believe. There will come times in life that we might not be able to do things, but circumstances are always changing and opportunities are always coming, and we need to watch out for those things because we might be in a really bad place, but there will come something, an event, a person, a situation, an opportunity. Something will come at some point that will make us shift our life, and if not, then we might actually be able to find it, because we can't always just sit here and wait for things to come to us. We have to go out there and figure it out. Talk to people, find information, do your research, and figure out what can I do to fix this situation that is keeping me from achieving the things that I want. It's not the age that you have. It's how you pursue those things and what your perception is of what you're trying to achieve. I could go on and on and on talking about this because this is definitely something that I have struggled with for a really long time. This is something that I'm always reminding myself of, and something that I'm trying to make more of my reality and my narrative as I keep growing older, and especially now that I'm about to turn 30, I want to remember these things. I'm telling you this in this video, but I'm also telling myself, because it's so hard to remember that we do have potential and we do have power and we do have control, because there are so many circumstances bombarding us and making us think that other people have more power over our own lives than we do, that we get stuck. I had to make decisions recently that before I made them, I felt like other people had full control of my life and there was no way I could get out of there. And because I made a huge leap that I may or may not talk about later, I don't know, maybe I'll share in the future. But thanks to that, I feel renewed. I feel like I am a whole different person because I dared to do the one thing that scared me the most. And now I feel unstoppable. Yes, there will come times that I will feel stuck. Yes, there will come times where I will lose my motivation or I'll lose the mindset to do the things that I want to do. But what will truly keep me stuck is if I don't take action, if I don't change my own reality. It's really hard. I'm not gonna say it's easy because it's not. It's really hard, especially when you have responsibility, especially when you have people that depend on you, especially when you feel stuck in a place and you're trying to move to another place. And it's like there's obstacle after obstacle after obstacles. What I realized is that the moves that I was trying to make were not the right moves for me. I was trying to move from point A to point B, but the problem was that point B was keeping me stuck because I had no control of that point B. So I realized that what truly works for me and where I truly have to be is a whole different place. So instead of going from point A to point B, I'm going from point A to point C, because that's what makes sense for me and that is where I have the control. Point B, I had nothing to do with it. I couldn't control the outcome, and I spent a year and a half trying to follow that thing that deep down I knew that I wasn't even that interested in, and it was keeping me stuck because I was in a place that I didn't want to be, and I was searching for another place that I didn't necessarily want it either. I thought that it would be so much better than point A, and I realized that neither point A or point B were for me. So now we are pursuing point C, or plan C, however you want to put it. And we're gonna hope for the best, because this is the first time that I feel like I actually have control of my life and what I want to do. And I want the same thing for you. So keep on watching the series. Keep on following my journey as I build the life that I want. Stay focused. Remember why you started, and give yourself the opportunity to go after those dreams. It doesn't matter what age you are, because age is just a number. Age is not going to determine what your capabilities are. If anything, the more you grow, the more knowledge you'll get, so you'll be more prepared. So if you're 30, 40, 50, and you haven't done the things that you wanted, think back at all your experiences and knowledge. Did you have all those experiences and knowledge when you were in your 20s? Probably not. The person that you are today is probably more capable of doing those things than the person that you were when you were in your 20s. I certainly feel that way. The things that I didn't achieve in my early 20s and mid 20s, I can definitely say that I was not prepared to be that person. Now I feel more prepared. And I know that the person that I am now is not the person that I'm going to be 10 or 15 years from now. And that person is going to be more capable of doing other things that right now I'm not capable of doing. Because we need to allow ourselves to grow and learn. And it takes time. So give yourself time, give yourself some grace, and keep on going after those dreams. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.